Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Syukran bin Saadun. This video is about the learner factors in Malaysia's ESL learning environment. In this video, I'll be discussing about the factors that affect students' language development. There are two types of learner factors that I would like to look into. The first one is the student's motivation. Motivation is one of the most important factors which influence language learners' success or failure in learning the language. Motivation is defined as the choices people make as to what experiences or goals they will approach or avoid in the degree of effort they will exert in this respect by Keller 1983. The second factor deals with the learning styles or the VARK modalities. VARK means visual, oral, read and write, and the last one is kinesthetic. Motivation is a boost that spurs and enhances students' confidence and interest in language learning. Motivation comes from two different kinds of sources, which are intrinsic and extrinsic. Extrinsic motivation is when a student is driven by external factors like achieving a good grade in English subject. They feel motivated to learn for their own sake and personal rewards. As opposed to it, intrinsic motivation is when a student is driven by an internal desire to achieve something such as learning the language for self-efficacy. They feel motivated to learn in order to earn reward or avoid punishment. Okay, next. So based on the past studies I've read, there are three hot and notable issues regarding motivation in learning English. The first one, English is only viewed as a subject matter as they only take it seriously whenever an exam is approaching. The subject is regarded as an exam-oriented subject. Okay. So the second issue is about the status of the language. Since Malaysia used to be colonized by the United Kingdom, English is considered as the nation's second language. However, students only limit themselves to use English in the classroom. The last one is about the rural learners view English as the foreign language rather than the second language. This is because their dialect is the first language and Bahasa Malaysia is the second language, which means English is considered as a foreign language to them. So I've come up with four interventions. The first one is forge a strong bond between teacher and students. Second, parents, society and peer support. So they all should play a part for boosting students' motivation. The third one is to use the language in daily conversation. And the last one is flexible class activities and fun games. Okay, so next. So there are four types of learning styles according to VARK modalities created by Neil Fleming in 1987. So VARK, V stands for visual. It is for students who prefers graphics or images as the materials for learning. A stands for oral or audio. It is for students who prefer lecture or speech as they can absorb the information through these kinds of materials easily. R stands for read and write. It is for students who prefer to take in the information displayed as words. Learning materials that are primarily text-based are strongly preferred by these students. Okay, last one, K stands for kinesthetic or tactile. Learners learn best by touching and doing. So hands-on experience is important to kinesthetic learners. However, the main problem is that learners are taught in a similar manner even though they have different styles of learning. It is normal occurrence in Malaysia, especially when there are 30 to 40 students per classroom in national schools. Therefore, differentiated instruction might be the best solution for this problem. So according to Tomlinson, teachers can differentiate instruction in four ways: content, process, product, and learning environment. For content, differentiate the content by designing activities for groups of students that cover various levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Students who are unfamiliar with a lesson could be required to complete tasks on the lower levels, remembering and understanding. Students with some mastery could be asked to apply and analyze the content, and students who have high levels of mastery could be asked to complete the task in the areas of evaluating and creating. Next, each student has a preferred learning style, and successful differentiation the, includes delivering the material to each style: visual, auditory, and visual, auditory, read and write, and kinesthetic. This process Next is this process related. This process related method also addresses the fact that not all students require the same amount of support from the teacher, and students could choose to work in pairs, small groups, and individually. And while some students may benefit from one-on-one interaction with the teacher in the classroom, teacher can enhance student learning by offering support based on individual needs. Okay, next is the product. The product is what the students creates at the end of the lesson to demonstrate the mastery of the content. This can be in the form of tests, project, reports, and other activities. Assign students to complete activities that show mastery of an educational concept in a way the students prefer, based on the learning styles. Lastly, the conditions for optimal learning include both physical and psychological elements. A flexible classroom layout is key, incorporating various types of furniture and arrangement to support both individual and group work. Psychologically speaking, teachers should use classroom management techniques that supports a safe and supportive learning environment. So that's all